I am your Godzilla of the truth in America, your oracle of the deplorables. Thanks for being with us. Day 5, wrapping up our Iowa bus tour in West Des Moines. Tom Rothman in the house. I know him way back in 24 when it was minus 40 and here, and we were in a snowstorm and a snowdrift and couldn't get out. And Rothman was there. One of
Rothwell.
Ro- Rothwell. I'm sorry, Rothwell. Tom. Anyway, he was there. We'll get him on here in a minute, but I gotta do a couple things. I have to read this. I have to read this text here, Saxman, from AJ Doherty. AJ says, Saxman used to get on my nerves, but goodness, John, his and your political analysis is second to none. You turn him around.
No, well, thank you. Thank you for that.
We're giving you a compliment,
No,
Saxman.
no, I said thank you for that. Okay, did you not pick up on that? I said thank you. Me, crickets. Look,
Your political analysis is second to none.
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I get a quote out of that. I'll put it everywhere. Because I think we have over the years learned to appreciate and respect each other.
Yes.
And calling the balls and strikes,
Yes.
not just a metaphor, is what
Yes.
we do.
Yes.
And sometimes you got to call the strikes on your own team. And go, look, that's just not working out for us.
And sometimes you're on the block and you think it's a ball and I think it's a strike. Because I think everything's a strike.
Because you're a pitcher.
I think
I
everything
look
is
at
a
the umpire,
strike.
yeah, but that was a ball.
Everything that Joe throws out of the zone, I'm like, oh, that was on the black. That's a strike. It doesn't matter what it is. The guy almost hit the guy.
Plate. He could have had that.
Oh, come on, man. Swing the bat, you fag. Well, I can't say that on air.
Well, you
Cut
did
that.
anyway.
I cut that. Anyway, we can't be saying that.
No, but I appreciate your audience saying that, and I hope over the course of time I've demonstrated that to your audience. We all have our particular bias, but when I was a teacher, this is 30 years ago, when I was a teacher in high school, taught U.S. history and government, regardless of my students' beliefs or what they were saying, I would counter them to challenge their beliefs. And I think that's an important part of our society and our education system. But my only rule for my students was thinking. I don't care what you think, I care that you think. And as long as you think, you'll get to a better place in life. But you got to be able to back up what you're talking about with data and not just feelings and repeating what, because there's so many controversies out there, John. My God.
Oh, it's so
And
ridiculous.
I basically have a 24-hour rule, which I violated the other day when the Pam Bondi hearing was going on, because everyone was saying, "Oh, Pam Bondi, said X, Y, and Z." It turned out to be not true, like false. And we're driving down on the bus from Sioux City to Des Moines, and thank God you got the Starlink, internet going here, because I could go, is this thing true or not?
Fake news.
So I got really ticked off about it. But wait a second, don't get mad. Understand what's going on, and then think. And so I appreciate your audience saying it. It really means a lot to me.
Fake news. Hey, you know what? You know why Saxman and I are fired up? Because we got our wellness kit, the wellness company medical emergency kit. We got one of those. We got the contagion kit here. We never get sick. We're fired up. We had a great dinner last night at the machine shed. I tell you what, you got to stay healthy. You cannot get, especially now, too much is on the line. And listen, this is a new way to do medicine. I mean, I've got one. Everybody, my son's traveling today. He's in North Carolina. First thing he packs in his bag is this. Like, you can't afford to get sick, dude, right? They need you, right? You're basically their guy in the 8th inning. They need you there. You can't get sick. So you feel something coming on, boom. You got your contagion kit. Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. You've got Z-Pack, got antibiotics, everything right here. Nebulizer, right here. And all you have to do is go to twc.health/Godzilla. twc.health/Godzilla. 10% off. Why you don't do this, I have no idea. Because this is for a healthier lifestyle. Because you don't want to be sick and you don't want to be down. You got things to do. You're running a business, right? You got to go to work. You got grandkids, whatever's going on. You cannot get sick. Why get sick when you don't have to? Sometimes you have to get sick. You don't have to. So you can catch it in the bud, get rid of it. That's why your medical emergency kit and your contagion kit are so critical. All you got to do is go to twc.health/Godzilla, twc.health/Godzilla, promo code Godzilla, and that's going to get you 10% off. Tyler, we're going to extend this here a little bit. So, Chris, and we'll take callers. DHS shuts down. The Democrats basically not voting for it. The DHS funding bill, Department of Homeland Security funding bill that passed the House last month, which would have even been a vehicle for short-term funding, or part of a larger immigration agreement. It fell short in the Senate, 52-47. It fell 8 votes short, Chris, of the 60 votes needed. So you've got the SAVE Act is going nowhere.
Right.
You just shut down DHS funding.
Right.
You're never going to get the 60 votes.
Right.
When the Democrats, this is balls and strikes. If the Democrats take over the Senate, they'll get rid of the cloture rule in, 90 minutes. Why doesn't Thune just get rid of this thing, pass this DHS funding, pass the SAVE Act, get voter ID, be done with it? Why won't they do it?
Having served as a legislator for 8 years, I understand legislative process. For your audience,
Mike, a little closer for Saxman.
what's that? Okay. The legislative process is not an easy one. So you have a lot of disparate interests. In Virginia, we had what's known as a single object rule, where you take up one bill on one issue and that's the vote. The problem when you lump all these different things in there, people think it's just voting against voter ID. People might vote against the SAVE Act for other things that are in the bill. My suggestion is to go to more of a single object rule, because the American public can understand this is about voter ID and only voter ID, and put it in front of the legislators, the Congress, in the House, in the Senate, and say, okay, up or down on this. Everyone's going to vote. We'll go to the next one, and we'll go to the next one, and we'll go to the next one, and take it piece by piece. You take these large omnibus bills or pack too much in there. There's as a former legislator, one of the things that I learned very quickly, no is always the easier vote, because you don't have to explain it, because it's just not good enough for my district. The people of whatever state, they're not with me on this one. They're not with us on this one. I'm going to vote against. It's just not good enough yet. It's an easy vote politically. We talked about this yesterday on the crime bill, on the recidivism bill that what was his name? J. Ron was in there talking about, you letting people out of jail if they, who are to establish them re-entry into society, which I support. But as a legislator, you have to look at the bill and go, if I vote for this and some guy gets out and does something bad, that's on me. They're going to hang that vote on me in my campaign. And that's why it's a hard vote. I don't know why these particular legislators voted against the SAVE Act, because, I see national ID and I'm for, a voter ID, and I'm for that. I think we're all for that. I got to show it today to get on the plane. You got to do it to buy Benadryl or whatever.
Okay, so
you can make that sale. You can't sell everything all the time.
Okay, but let's get back to that's a philosophical thing. Good. Makes sense, right?
That's a better way of saying it.
It makes sense.
Thank you.
It's philosophical and it makes sense.
Right.
But right now, I want to know why we don't get rid of the 60 vote cloture rule. I don't understand why the Republicans won't do that. What are they afraid of? They say, well, if we lose power, that's all we got. The Democrats will wax that in 90 minutes. They've already told you they will. They've already done it. It got stopped by 2 people who are not there, Sinema and Manchin. So it's going to pass in 90 minutes. I don't understand the reasoning for Thune and these guys to say, well, just get rid of it. DHS gets open, SAVE Act gets passed, done. What is the problem? What are they afraid of?
You'd have to ask them. I support having the filibuster and slowing things down at the Senate. I think if we move too quickly, we can do a lot of dangerous things, Republican or Democrat.
But Chris,
the
Democrats will get rid of it in an hour and a half. This is what I don't understand. If it was saying, okay, well, if you do the nuclear option, then it stays there, and the Democrats can't change it without 60 votes. They can change it with 51 votes.
If you could solve this by going to a single object rule and maintaining that and getting things done that you want to get done, rather than here's what happens. You talk about being in the swamp, John. The swamp is we've got a bill that's going to pass. We're going to shove everything into it, and we're going to overload this thing, and it dies.
Right
That's
now,
the problem.
So if you were a Republican in the Senate, you would vote to hold. You would restrain. You would handcuff yourself with 60 votes, knowing that if they take over the next day, they scrap it.
No. What I would do is pass a single object rule and then let them take individual difficult.
Oh, that'll
votes on-
take a year to do that, Chris. I mean,
You wanna- here-
you'd have to get that through the House.
I'm just
I mean,
trying to
come
solve the
on.
problem.
I mean, it's a
I'm just trying to
great
solve it.
philosophy. I solved the problem by getting rid of the cloture and passing the stuff we need
'Cause
passed.
what you're going to have is you're going to have all these large omnibus bills that shove in all the crap.
Well, you've
we
had
have
that
to
for
eat.
100. What's different between now and 1910?
The difference
we've
is
had
we're
these
running
same things.
$39 trillion in debt. You're never going to solve it if you
All
keep
right,
loading the
okay,
shit.
okay.
Sorry, pardon the stuff
You're
in-
right. Philosophically, you're waxing eloquent. Fine. Look, the 800 number is down. I have
strategic
no
retreat.
idea why that went down. So if you want to call in, 804-778-8888, 804-778-8888, so we can figure that out. I obviously can't do it on the air, and Ann's traveling somewhere today. So we'll have to figure this out later today. 804-778-8888, 804-778-8888 if you want to weigh in. So Saxman's waxing philosophical,
Let's agree on
eloquent
the best baseball
today,
song.
and it's all good. Let's get to let's get to Iowa while we're here, and Tom, thanks for being with us. I know that basically you came a long distance to be here, and so Tom Rothwell, thank you. Give us a little feel. We've been here. We've been here a week. We've got a lot of feedback from people. Eminent domain is a big issue. Obviously, the ethanol is a big issue. The pipeline for CO for carbon's a big issue. But it also seems that that this is, in our view, the epicenter of the MAGA movement. And Tom, you were there in 2004. You were one of the key leaders for Trump in winning every caucus precinct in the state except one, which Haley won by one vote. Tell us about what you're seeing in Iowa.
Well, I'm from Warren County, which is just south of the capital city, and you were right there. We won every single precinct win for Trump in 2024. He was the hands down winner. Our precinct, we voted 145 to whatever. No one was even close for Trump. So yeah, he's been a good man for us, and we appreciate his leadership.
Give me a feel of when you are talking to so many people within your network about how do they feel about the economy, how they feel about the midterms going forward, and be as candid as you can.
Well, to be as candid as I can would be to take the government and ask them to all go on vacation for 2 weeks, and then go ahead and take another 2. And while they're doing that, we're going to put some things in play in the private sector, and we're going to ramp up some business, just like we're doing right now in partnership with our friends to the north and west, South Dakota.
Okay, so tell me what have you felt different in Iowa between 24 and 26? Give me some of the differences.
I think we're very bullish on what's coming up, John. We appreciate the fact that the government has been backing off that regulation, the effect of the regulation and the rules are backing off with the Trump administration. We see more of the same for the next 2 years, and we're hopeful. We're very hopeful that the midterm elections go our way. I'm not much of polls, but I do hear a lot of people saying they're voting red. So we're expecting it.
Is it? Are they bullish on the economy? Do they see an economic boom coming here in Iowa? I mean, what is your sense on that?
Yes, there's definitely a boom, and it's starting in the rural areas. We're doing some work right now with the folks up in South Dakota. Like I said, we're bringing in industrial hemp to build houses, to build ropes, to build canvas. This is a new investment on our part, and we're going to be reintroducing this as a new row crop starting in this Raccoon River just north and west of here. John, I don't know if you know about the Raccoon River, but it's one of the most polluted waterways in the United States. It has more phosphorus and nitrates washing down to cause the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico than any other river. And we're going to clean it up with organic farming. We're going to clean it up by introducing into the rotation this new crop that hasn't been around for over 100 years, industrial hemp. And we're not talking the THC.
Oh, I got it.
We're not talking the CBD, just the fiber.
Yeah.
We're making animal bedding. We're making hempcrete.
Tom, do you grow that? Chris
Sure.
Saxon, I came from a agricultural rural district in Virginia, the
Sure.
largest counties for agricultural production in Rockingham County, Augusta County. Predominantly poultry,
Right.
Cattle, hay, and we always had to worry about buffer zones, total load for
Absolutely.
the water, TMDLs. Would the hemp be on the buffers of the waterways?
Right in the heart of it, Chris.
That
Right.
it wouldn't surround the waterways as a filtration device?
Well, that's a great use because just broadcasting that hemp seed around those riparian areas
Yeah,
does
that's it.
suck those phosphorus and nitrates out.
out the ground.
Absolutely. But we're growing it actually for the fiber, for the crop.
Yeah, I get that. I get the
Yeah.
I get the absorption. How deep is the root system? We're going to get in the weeds here. This is what I love about being
Well,
legislature.
you want to talk about the root system, the corn and the
How deep does it
soybeans,
go?
those
Right.
are lightweight. Those are lightweight.
Right,
the
that's
hemp,
topical. It's like top of the soil.
right.
But how deep does hemp go?
The hemp root, taproot goes down way over a foot.
Okay.
And it breaks up that soil.
Okay.
It sucks those nutrients out of the soil that the corn and the soybeans leave behind.
Okay.
And it creates a looser compacting. It's just overall, the farmers love it because it's a new cash crop for them.
Yeah.
We have processing and we have
And this is
markets
hemp
opening
you're
up.
talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about hemp, industrial hemp. It's defined by the law as 0.3% THC or
Right.
less. So we have to operate within the guidelines.
So how big is this eminent domain thing here that people are talking about, where this this pipeline company is coming in and basically with a government strong arm behind them trying to buy people's land that they don't want to sell.
Well,
How
it's-
big is that here?
It's huge. There's no other way to say it. Nobody wants to get that letter or that phone call that says, sorry about your farm. It's going to a private sector investment, like a carbon pipeline
Right.
or that Dakota Access pipeline that ran through a few years ago. They just rammed it down our throats. There was nothing we could do about it. But now we're standing up.
Is that going to affect the governor's race here?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a huge issue. That's just one of, and it ties right up there with mental health.
Who's gonna win the governor's race?
Whoever gets the Republican nomination, hands down.
Really?
Well, who's going to get the Republican nomination?
I'm hoping that it's one of several. I'm hoping it's either Adam Feenstra, or I'm hoping that Adam Steen, or Randy Feenstra, or we also have Eddie Andrews, and we have Brad
Well,
Sherman.
those are all your candidates.
Yeah.
So you're for everybody. Okay,
I'm
got it.
hoping for a
all right,
good
look,
fight.
I'm not going to. Okay, good.
He's
I
a
got
lover.
the
He's a lover,
message.
not a fighter.
I got the message. You're a lover, not a fighter.
Hey, I will say this about Eddie Andrews.
Nice kid.
I want to take
Yes,
him
here's
down
the
to-
7
I wanna
Republicans
take him
running
down
for
to
governor.
Mexico.
I'm for them all. Okay, good. Okay, got Tom.
Well,
Tom's
I
gonna.
like. I wanted to say I do like Eddie because he's bilingual, like I am. He speaks Spanish fluently. He is a man of God. He's a minister. I've traveled with him up to Northeast Iowa. We had a wonderful meeting with some very, very interesting folks that were recovering addicts.
Okay.
And we preached the gospel to them,
great.
and they just responded so warmly. So, yeah, I like Eddie a lot, and I want to take him down to Mexico.
Okay.
And
Eddie'd be good. All right,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
get to.
He'd be a good
I
governor.
want to get to a couple of clips here, and get your guys reaction. Plus, phone lines are open. You got to call the 804 number. I don't know what happened with the 800 number. I got to deal with it later. And Ann's traveling. What was it? 804-778-8888. Just put that in your phone. This is the same thing. 804-778-8888. You want to call in. Let's get to, here's Joe Borelli yesterday saying that no, ICE is not retreating in Minnesota. It's a successful mission that's now over. There were, 4,000 arrests and job well done. So let's get his take. And look, I'm fair, right? I think it was a negotiated surrender, but that's just me. Borelli doesn't think so, and neither does Saxman. Cut one, roll it.
Joe?
Look, I mean, you phrased this as a retreat from Minnesota. I would say it's not a retreat. I would say it's a successful mission that is now over. I mean, there were
It's not
4,000.
successful.
There were 4,000 arrests
No.
of individuals. Many of them had ICE detainers, and I think they, more importantly, of the big picture, the policy, they reestablished that despite sanctuary city jurisdictions who refuse to comply with ICE detainers, they've reasserted themselves as saying, hey, whether you arrest someone and release them or not, we're still going to enforce federal immigration law in Minnesota, in Chicago, and where else.
And how do you say that's successful? How do you say that the mission in Minnesota and Chicago and places around this country...
4,000 people were arrested. I find that successful.
Do you find it successful that people who have no criminal records, who actually have been detained, who are actual citizens, because the U.S. Supreme Court has given them authority based on the color of your skin, which means my skin, your accent where you're working, to be detained. That is not successful, nor is it in compliance with what this country says.
But with all
You
due
can
respect-
pick and choose
with all due respect,
between.
we had a situation where Minnesota, like many sanctuary cities, refused to comply with the most simple.
I mean, there's both sides of the argument, right? So you got Borelli basically saying, look, we arrested 4,000 people, mission accomplished, we're leaving, we'll leave it over to them. But, the argument now is, well, ICE was, it's almost gets back to, remember the New York City rule? What was it? Frisk and something that Giuliani
Stop and
put in?
frisk.
Stop and frisk.
Yeah.
And people got upset over it because, cops would just stop and frisk people and based on what? I'm not doing anything. But crime went down dramatically. I mean, it was the biggest crime drop in New York City history because people didn't want to get frisked because if they had a gun, so they didn't go outside with a gun. I mean, this is just reality. But you can see what the Democrats are saying is, look, you're questioning people based on you think they could be an illegal, and that's not right. And so that's their argument.
Well, the problem is Democrats under Barack Obama and Tom Homan deported a lot of illegals.
Right.
More than Donald Trump in many instances. This is all about the binary political establishment trying to game the system to make money. It's a grift. It's a grift.
It's a grift.
12 years ago, they would have supported, if Donald Trump was a Democrat, be like, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world. We're getting rid, we're cleaning the place up. We're bringing down crime. Blah 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 blah. That's what Barack Obama did.
Grift.
Go back and listen to what Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton said about immigration when they were running for president in 2008. This is what drives me crazy. It's so situational. Oh, it's our team. We have to support it. If the other team's doing something, we have to oppose it. It's just asinine. It's asinine and it's intellectually inconsistent and. I don't need.
Chris would love to get back to the days where we had, roasted marshmallows and we did s'mores and we all sat around a campfire. There's no bipartisanship, Chris.
It's not bipartisanship. It's just reality. If you can support it when Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton are espousing it and trying to win national elections on it, I'm calling out the Democrats.
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing worse in politics, I think, than being called a hypocrite. Because you're just false.
Because all they want to do is win. They don't care about anything.
Right. They just want to raise money, win elections,
and grift,
and impose whatever's happening. All you have to do is oppose the other team. Right? I told you this in the last segment. No is the easier answer.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh, dude, it's real.
Oh yeah, it's real. I mean, you see it every day.
There are people going to the doctors for this, who literally
really
can't. Yes.
Get out of town.
There are psychologists and psychiatrists writing columns and doing studies on this because it is so pronounced.
Get out of here.
Swear to God.
People are going to the doctor for TDS?
Literally.
It's in my family.
But they're not going to the doctor.
I think it's honestly I think there's a way to actually diagnose it on the, it's called what's the DM spectrum, whatever they call the DM, what's the psychological?
Anytime someone is obsessed.
DSM. It's a DSM.
Obsessed with a very negative feeling. It erodes you from inside. So you've got to get rid of that.
Right.
And I said, like
unhealthy.
My own family, John, my younger brother just went off the rails against Trump, and I haven't been able to have a conversation with him now in over 5 years. Just because, it was all over January 6th. It just that was the end. And
there's a level of, and has been since the first Trump administration. They just don't know how to deal with him.
Exactly.
And it's a serious.
It's a mental disease.
I think it's a serious mental.
Getting treatment.
I think it's a serious. Yeah, they are people getting treatment for it.
Yeah, and there's people that should get treatment for it.
100%.
Well, how do you treat them?
Tell them a little bit about the gospel of salvation.
Well, that and get the real handle. Load them up on THC.
Or get the gummies.
Here's what you do, John. Take them out to a ball game. Get them a beer. Get them a hot dog. Sit in the stands. Keep score of the game.
Now, here's what they need to do.
Yeah, there you go.
They need to get a cat. Just get a cat.
Don't get a cat.
Get a cat, and then your life will be better with your
get
cat.
A dog out here, John.
No, I mean, I like dogs. I have no problem with dogs.
But
if you got a derangement syndrome, you get a cat. Cats will figure it out because you got to serve the cat. And you get it, they keep you busy.
Everybody knows what a cat does when you tell it. When it does exactly as you say, that's what we call in Iowa a coincidence.
A cat's rule, baby. I mean, my cat rules our entire house. He just runs it. It's unbelievable.
They are very.
Sammy
very
is just
strong
something,
animals.
something else. He's, but we love him to death. And anyway, let's go here. Let's go to the Trump derangement syndrome. You guys are treating it. I think you should treat it with the gummies, right?
Be a good start.
Right. Father's Day. Debbie Dooley sent me. I got a package from Father's Day last year. I opened it up. It's Debbie Dooley. Here's your Father's Day gift. I'm like, Debbie, wow, she sent me a Father's Day gift. I'm expecting like a cup or something, a mug. Open up the box, sends me a bag of high-powered gummies, which I don't do. And she puts a note in there. Even though you're a big man, thank you. Even though I lost weight, even though you're a big man, only take 1/3 of a gummy. I saw that. I'm like, put that in the drawer.
John, let me point out there that you're just
1/3 of the
discussing
gummy.
a microdose, which is exactly what it should be started on.
It's a
A microdose, yes, a microdose of that gummy will create enough of an effect that it just can trip that thinking over to another side. It doesn't take a big dose and it doesn't take a chronic dose, but it does start with a small dose.
I'd
6:30 in the morning. We're talking about microdose.
I'd rather. All I know
Same
is
caffeine.
I got my Grey Goose vodka. I'm taking that to North Carolina. I inhaled a bong one time when I was in college. One time in my life.
One time.
Yeah, I was with the baseball team and they were all passing around and I didn't do it. But they're like, oh yeah, do it. And this is how you do it. It's like that big or something.
Yeah.
It's like in a tube.
Sure.
This is how ignorant I am. I don't do pot. I've had it one time, and so I breathed into it, and they said whatever they said. Anyway, I coughed for 3 days. I literally coughed for 3 days.
Right.
I was on a baseball field coughing, and they're like, "What is wrong with you?" I know I got a cold. I never touched it again, so I'm now familiar with it. Let's go to MTG. She says, I don't give any justification for anyone in the government for keeping the Epstein files from the American people. MTG got it half right. I got the other half right. Two.
But
roll.
why do you think that there's been a hesitation, not only by maybe this administration, but previous administrations, to just put it all out? Are there legitimate concerns about putting it all out? Do you see some of the reasoning behind maybe not dumping them all at once or in totality? Is there something there that you think gives a little bit of justification for that?
No, I don't give them any justification at all. I don't give anyone in the government a reason for keeping this covered up. We're looking at around 1,200 women who were victims. We're talking about rape of teenage girls, trafficking. That's what Ghislaine Maxwell was. She was convicted for trafficking. Well, that's not a one-way crime, right? Who were they trafficked to? So there's many more people implicated. To me, the biggest thing is it should have never been a fight in the first place. This was a campaign promise. We all campaigned on it. People in the administration said it over and over again, release the Epstein files. President Trump talked about it back in 2015. I've supported him since early on. Mm-hmm. He talked about it since 2015. Don Jr., everybody, Charlie Kirk, everybody was release the Epstein files. Ironically, no Democrats were, but all of us were. And here it turned into a fight where the president yelled at me, was angry at me, told me that his friends would get hurt, and that's why he wanted me to take my name off that discharge petition. And I told him absolutely not. It's a moral line in the sand. And this is what ended up him calling me a traitor and saying that he would primary me. So no, this has been a major issue. He called it a Democrat hoax, which is not a hoax. Fought to release the files. Had our Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, was fighting us to get this vote to the floor to the point where we had to work with Democrats. We shouldn't have never had to work with Democrats. This was the easiest thing for our Republican majority to do without the Democrats because they didn't care about it. Mm-hmm. They clearly never cared about it until it became a political scoreboard for them.
She absolutely nailed it, right? I mean, this is what has just exploded my head with the Epstein files. Biden had it for 4 years, right? His Attorney General, Merrick Garland, had it for 4 years. They didn't do crap. Then finally, Trump campaigns on releasing them. Then he doesn't release them. Then he says, well, good people get hurt. My friends will get hurt. Well, too bad. Go to jail if you had sex with a minor child. You go to prison for that, right? But now we're going to protect the elites. And now I've done a 180 on this. Everybody knows where I stand now. These files have got to, everything has got to get unredacted except the victims, and you got to let the chips fall where they may. And that's why we're losing kids. We're losing our MAGA kids by the hour. We're bleeding them out because they see this as just another example of the elites and the money protecting the elites and the money at the expense of average people. And this is not going away, Chris.
It's not going to go away. You've said, both sides have said, oh, we're going to get it out there. We're going to get it out there. And there's, oh, we can't get it out there. It's too much. It's too much. And you keep hiding the ball. People go, what's the ball? What are we talking about? Why won't you tell us the truth? Why won't you tell us everything? You don't think we can handle the truth? This is like the Colonel Jessup's soliloquy in A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth?
Right.
You need me on that wall? You want me on that wall? No. This is not what this is about. This is about trust in our government. It's about trust in our society. And it's such a small segment of our population that has done this, and they're going to be the rich and famous. And, you know, I was reading online this morning before I came in here, some attorney at Goldman Sachs was there, you know, she lost her job. So people lost their houses 15 years ago.
Damn right. See, that's it. That's it. People like me went through the '08 disaster, and then, oh, okay, let's bail out the banks, give them money, give them golden parachutes, take them to Carmel. You know, they'll do a sales meeting there, stay in a luxury hotel while you're homeless and living in a car. You get nothing because this is all about the elites, too big to fail. Mm-hmm. And now a lot of our kids lived through that with their parents, like ours, lived through it, and now they're seeing it again.
Yeah.
And it's just in a different way. They're seeing it with Epstein, right? The rich and powerful, they can do whatever they want. Right. They can go to Sex Island. They can have sex with minors. They're going to get protected because, you know, it's too disruptive. Yeah. Too big to fail.
Right.
It's the same thing in a different way.
And you're not solving my problem. My health care keeps going up. My wife is out of her mind with what we have to pay in health care premiums, John. And
So
we're healthy.
It's nuts.
We're paying like
It's nuts.
$25,000 a year to not see the doctor. It's nuts.
I'm on, what is it, Medicare? Right? I'm on Medicare, and I pay more now than I did when I had private health insurance.
Right.
And I don't see the doctor either.
Right.
888, no, I'm sorry, 804-778-8888. We're going to be right back. Neil McCabe and your calls.